MMA Rants and Raves, UFC 115. Tyson Griffin versus Dunham. Guys, let's talk about this fight. Basically, all 3 rounds, you basically saw Tyson Griffin, who is the smaller guy. At 155, you can see that the weight was really saturated into his stature. He was very built, very solid looking. And you look at Dunham, a lot taller and more lanky. So if you look at the 2 athletes, they're built very differently. And you could just see their skill set as well. When the fight was starting out, you basically saw Tyson trying to get inside. He was throwing leg kicks. Good strategy, okay? The problem was he didn't stick with it. And what's good about leg kicks, guys, is that they have greater reach than punching, because your legs are stronger than your arms. That's why leg kicks are very effective, especially for a shorter guy, and a guy who has less reach, has shorter arms. You throw the leg kicks, and of course, since Tyson's legs are really strong and powerful, and it seemed to have an effect. It was effective. He was trying to get inside, and he accomplished what he had to by getting inside, but when he got inside, he got into trouble. Why? Because Dunham has very good grappling and very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When we saw it, he was able to get him down repeatedly throughout the fight. First, second, third round, he was able to get him down. He was able to get his back. He was able to be on top. He was trying to implement submissions. You saw Griffin was trying to put one on 2 from the bottom, but he couldn't get it going. And what was really interesting towards the end of the fight, you saw Dunham coiled around him like a snake. He put some kind of triangle on his back, and he was actually walking with him. He was on his back, piggyback, and Griffin was just walking with him on his back, trying to do something to get him off, trying to convince the referee to say, look, get this guy off, he's not doing anything. The referee wasn't buying it, and the fight continued like that until Griffin just fell down with him. Maybe tried to get him off on the ground. So basically, you saw Dunham trying to control Griffin. He didn't put him away, but he was trying to control the fight, trying to be on top on the ground, and not get into a striking war. He wanted to get this thing on the ground. Every time they got within close reach, rather than strike with Griffin, he just took it to the ground, do the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, control the fight, and look for a submission. Look for some place to knock him out. So basically what you saw here was Tyson wanting to stand up, and just that, and you saw Dunham wanting to get it to the ground. It was typical striking, stand up against ground game, and ultimately the ground game prevailed. That's the way I saw it going. Now as far as Dunham, he fought very well. I didn't really agree it was a split decision. I thought it was more decisive. I really saw Dunham winning this fight, despite the fact that Tyson Griffin's really talented. I was very impressed with his guard and the way he was able to fight back on the ground. But it was just Dunham basically controlling everything on the ground, and most of the fight was dictated on the ground because that's where Dunham wanted to be dictated. Now, as far as Dunham, wow, 11-0, very quietly. I mean, I see this guy as a top 5 lightweight in the UFC right now. I mean, he was very impressive. Really good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, very cerebral fighter, patient fighter. And his striking was good too. He was able to create distance. He wasn't allowing Griffin to get inside, and when he did, he took it to the ground. So he's cerebral, he had a good game plan, and he was able to implement it into the fight. Now, he's definitely in the mix. I mean, I see this guy close to getting a title shot in the lightweight division. Looks like good things are happening for Dunham. Tyson Griffin fought a good fight too. It was a good fight. Would like to know what you thought about it. Leave your comments below the video. Rate the video. Please subscribe. And thank you for tuning in.